Thank you, Mr. Warner. You know, when Ms. O'Brien asked me to do a speech this year, I wasn't sure what to say. So I started by generating a list of words that I associate with the class of 2025. And you know what was at the top of the list? Procrastination. Now, what could I possibly say about that? You all put the pro in procrastinate, not me. But if ever there was a class that procrastinates, it's you guys. So I decided my approach should be a bit of field research. I would conduct an experiment wherein I implemented all of your best procrastination habits in order to write this speech. So I started by writing myself a reminder. Well, I think I wrote myself, I put something in my back. It doesn't matter, because after I wrote myself that reminder, I did everything I possibly could to forget that tonight actually existed. And you know what? That actually worked out really well. I get why you do this. Right up until last night, when I decided I should probably lock in. So at 9 p.m., in honor of the occasion, I started by chugging 2 Monster Energy drinks. Yeah. And then I sat on the couch for half an hour while I talked to docs on call to make sure that the heart palpitations I was experiencing were not the early signs of a heart attack. Yeah. I don't know what you people are doing to your bodies. It's not good. Needing comfort from my almost near-death experience, I opened up TikTok and began scrolling. The first video featured cats in sweaters, and 3 hours later, they ended with dogs on skateboards. Yeah. And then I opened Google Docs. Having never written a graduation speech before, I didn't know how they were supposed to start. But then I remembered the wise words of a teacher who once said, if you're not sure what to say about a topic, start with Wikipedia. So according to Wikipedia, a graduation speech is a speech given at a graduation ceremony. Low-key, that makes so much more sense now. Thanks, Wikipedia. Oh my gosh. Now, that wise teacher also said that you should open a speech with a quotation, so I'm just gonna quote Wikipedia. Introduction done. Slay. I decided after all of that rigorous brain work that I needed a break, and frankly, I didn't know what else to say. So I opened up Snapchat and I snapped a couple of my friends. I waited 15 minutes for their responses before remembering that all of my friends are over 30 and are therefore unlikely to be awake at 3 a.m. Discouraged but not defeated, I returned to my work on this speech. I stared at my brilliant introduction for 30 minutes before realizing that I really couldn't top that. I wrestled with the idea of emailing Mrs. O'Brien and asking her for an extension, and then I remembered that she too is over 30 and is therefore unlikely to be reading her email at 3 a.m. I'm sorry, I didn't check this with you before. You are over 30, right? 31. Oh, whew, okay, good. I didn't want her to think I was calling her old. Whew. Backed into a corner as I was, I did what any self-respecting procrastinator would do in this situation. I opened up ChatGPT. I asked it to write a heartfelt speech about the graduating class of 2025, and this is what it said. Congratulations, Grand Junction High School's class of 2025. Your achievements showcase your resilience and potential to make a positive impact. Carry forward the values instilled here, approach future challenges with determination, and embrace the exciting journey ahead. That cooks. Seriously, show of hands, who thinks they could do better? Exactly, admit it, that was fire! No cap. Satisfied with my night's work, I crawled into bed and passed out. However, when I awoke at 6 o'clock this morning to go over what I had written, I realized that I hadn't written anything at all. I had procrastinated so much that I had to rely on technological tools that couldn't possibly know that the GJHS class of 2025 is one of the most kind and inclusive groups of young people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Those same technological tools couldn't possibly know that the GJHS class of 2025 has one of the best senses of humor of any group of young people I've ever worked with. Heck, those technological tools didn't even mention neck boy. That was for you, fourth hour. All right, sorry, I got lost in my notes here. I think there's a profound lesson in that. You see, as adults, we don't have teachers, parents, or coaches breathing down our necks to make sure that we get our assignments done with integrity, on time. And if you haven't learned this lesson yet, life is going to teach it to you real quick. You see, if you miss the application deadline for your dream job, there's no 2-week extension. You missed your chance. You're going to have to sit around and wait for the next one, assuming there is a next one. And if you want to pick up the phone to call grandma, just to say hi, you pick up the phone and you call. And if you don't, you don't. But you know, someday you're going to call grandma and she's not going to be there anymore to answer the phone. In those moments where we choose not to do something, either because it is hard or confusing or boring or just unpleasant, we are robbing ourselves of opportunities to experience life to its fullest. Opportunities not just to chase our dreams, but to fulfill them. Opportunities to tell the people who matter the most in our lives how we really feel about them. Opportunities that we may never recover. Now, I get it. We procrastinate for many reasons. Maybe, hypothetically speaking, you're procrastinating right now because of the thought of addressing hundreds of people on the most important night so far of your students' lives and not making yourself look like a complete idiot greatly intimidates you. Maybe, another hypothetical, you're procrastinating because you're overcome with anxiety because your boss is seated directly behind you and you know that he is judging your every word. Oh, hey, Mr. Sorensen, you look good tonight. Thank you for following dress code. Or that your boss's boss is also seated behind you and you know that he is judging your every word. Hey, Mr. Goldberg, good to see you. Or that your boss's boss's boss is also seated behind you and you know that he is judging your every word. Dr. Hill, sweet Nikes. Or that your boss's 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 bosses are all seated behind you and you know that they are judging your every word. School board members, thank you for joining us tonight. All of those were hypothetical examples, of course. Or maybe, just maybe, you're procrastinating because of an emotion that's hard to describe. Because you see, on the one hand, you are so excited for the students seated in front of you, as they're some of the most kind and interesting and funny human beings you've ever met. And when you think about the potential contained in each and every single one of them, your heart just wants to explode with joy for them. And at the same time, your heart is already broken because you realize that tonight will be the last night that you get to see most of them. Class of 2025, your dreams, your goals, the people who matter to you are out there waiting for you. But they won't wait forever. Whatever you are planning on doing, whomever you are planning on talking to, do it today while you still have time. So, I guess before I go, I should probably take my own advice. Sorry. Never worked one of those. Seniors, from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys. And I'm really, really gonna miss you. Now go get them, Tigers. Thank you.